The industry is growing worldwide, especially in Brazil. Yeah, of course, it's for adults. It's a responsible game we protect just for adults and respect all the laws. Of course, we love football in general.
I checked the statistics.
We actually prepared ourselves for 1.5, 2 months for to create good campaigns and to improve more our numbers.
So, hi everyone, this is Propellerets, and today we're here with Felipe Fraga. He's from Astrolodat, a famous and very large gaming company, and he has a lot of insights for you. Felipe, how are you?
Oh, good. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to talk with you guys.
Good, thank you very much for coming. So, I suppose we're ready to roll. And the first question I wanted to ask is kind of general question about the industry and what do you think about the current industry trends and how those trends can be used in advertising today?
The industry is growing worldwide, especially in Brazil. In the past 5 years, iGaming become legal in Brazil was for I don't know the reason, but was not legal in Brazil till 2018, and after that, the industry started to grow faster. And now, especially since the end of the last year and this year, it's been the process. Gaming is being regulated in Brazil, so it's a huge step for us. And the big trend is to use everything we built in the past years to connect with the players and create opportunities to the players, growing deposits, and use especially the tournaments and sports that become success here in Brazil. And well, the most important thing to use in ads is to have to choose the good words to find the right players, especially to avoid any understandable provision.
Great, thank you very much. So another question, this one might be very interesting for the beginners, affiliate marketers especially. How do you define, if you're an affiliate marketer, let's imagine that we are, how do we define a legit company? So is there any signs of scam you can tell right away, like that's a scam?
Right now, it's kind of easy to find the answer, especially if you see that the company have a good background. If it's growing through the years and it's doing the right job and it's sponsoring and the brand is being used, I can tell about our brand. For example, we pass through big compliance like FIFA and CBF, Brazilian Football Confederation. That's a big reason that the player can enter to our company and see that it's a trustable company. At the same time, for especially starting for January 1st next year, all the regulated companies will have the approval, the seal of Brazilian license, and these companies is completely regulated, and we have a lot of eyes on us. So the player can have the trust that if he have the entertainment with us in iGaming, he have the opportunity, he will be paid as well.
Cool. So it's the matter of careful, skillful googling and researching, and you can tell.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, now let's talk about some traffic sources. And the question that is, let's say, also talking about such traffic sources as TikTok or let's say Facebook, social traffic, they're not always gaming friendly. Let's say they are never gaming friendly. Do you think that's an issue actually? Is it a problem?
I'm not sure if it's a problem because we can connect with the players anyway, the players or any stakeholder that part of this industry, but they should reconsider this because a game is entertainment. Of course, it's for adults. It's a responsible game we protect just for adults and respect all the laws, of course. But the same structure, I can say that alcoholic beverage, for example, you have this kind of advertising happening in the social media, directed to the adult people. The same must happen with us. That's not a problem because in the end of the day, we find a way to connect with those players.
That's inspiring. So now let's come back to Brazil. As you said, that gaming is really big there, and we also know that from our statistics and our sales team. Maybe you can name some top popular sports people really love in Brazil, might be football, yeah, or maybe some
Yes.
popular markets, maybe some favorite types of bonus, sports activities, whatever.
The market Brazil is now the number one in access around the world, so even more than UK or US. And about money is the third place right now. Of course, it's a third place, especially because our local currency is very cheaper than dollar. For example, if you compare Brazilian real to US dollar, it's 6 to 1. So we are third place in the world with this. So the market is very huge and is growing faster. And about sports, the most popular, of course, is football. It's represent 80% or more in common matches in Brazil. We love football in general. And about this, especially the championship, this Brazilian Serie A championship, and also the foreign tournaments like the UEFA Champions League, English Premier League, and Italian league, Spanish league, those big European leagues is always huge. But it's important that NBA is an incredible sport. The people in Brazil is each day more trying to know basketball and watch NBA, and we have that's a trend, a very good hope about NFL.
Cool. So your previous answer actually raises two more questions. First one, I wanted to ask about the large foreign events. As I know from materials I've read about gaming in Brazil and sports in Brazil in general, I checked the statistics on Statista website actually, and I saw that Brazilian people actually are very fond of not only Brazilian matches, but like worldwide games, every game. Is it true?
Yes, exactly. So we must be connected with all games happening around the world, especially European games. As I say, a game in my side as operator, if something happening in Chelsea and Liverpool game, for example, it affects all of us because Brazilian players treat everything as like a block. They place it in the multiple choice. You can choose Liverpool and Cruzeiro, for example, on the same day. Club in England and a club in Brazil happening on Sunday, and it can affect everything for us. So it's not only Brazil. Of course, Brazilian league is bigger because it's around us. We're connected to the news for the player. He knows everything, but also European league is very important.
Cool. And also considering this topic, can you say that there is seasonality in iGaming in Brazil?
Yeah, depending specifically on the championships around the world. For example, the Champions League final, we start to prepare ourselves for 1.5 2 months to create good campaigns and to improve more our numbers. Of course, we expect a big number, but we do everything to make a boost, And the seasonality is not the right word because, for example, the summer vacations in Brazil is December and January. So we have no Brazilian Serie A. But at the same time, it's the middle of season in the European League. So teams is connected, is the window transfer. And so there's a good matches happening in Christmas or New Year's Day. And it brings a lot of different kind of players using the site at the same time, so we can flow through the seasonality, especially because with these two words, I can say when Brazil is summer, in Europe is winter, and the opposite, it make us having games available all the year.